Kazakhstan. Mike De Decker takes this first round match. The Queen of the Palace, Fallon Sherrock.
Will the Fallon fairy tale continue? Cal McKinstry, that's quite stunning finishing.
Good evening and welcome back to Minehead. The two female tournament debutants, Lisa Ashton and Fallon Sherrock, both fell at the first hurdle earlier, but still we experienced a cracking afternoon of darts here in Minehead. 128 players have already played today. 8 hours later, 96 have been knocked out. Now the best in the world join the fray, but if last year was anything to go by, their lofted status counts for absolutely nothing in the rough and tumble that is the UK Open.
This match could be won and lost on one little bit of magic.
Yes, for the king! Michael van Gerwen goes out, salute the king.
One of the best victories of recent times for Steve Beaton. Van Gerwen's out, Anderson's out.
Woohoo, Mensah, like that one. Mensah's done Peter right again.
Who's going to take the UK Open?
Well, this is the lineup on the main stage tonight. Look at that for a draw. We are in for an absolute treat. Thank you very much. First up is the world number 3, Gerwyn Price, who takes on another of the world's top players in the Dutchman Danny Noppert. Don't forget, Max Hopp had to pull out due to glandular fever, so he hasn't travelled to England from Germany. Next up, the world champion Peter Wright up against Glenn Durrant. What a fabulous looking tie that one is. Snakebite falling at the first hurdle here last year, so absolutely no doubt he'll be looking to go one better tonight at least. Then another fantastic matchup. Wow, the world number 1, Michael van Gerwen, up against the defending champion, Nathan Aspinall. Well, last year in the 4th round, Gary Anderson, the 2018 champion, was knocked out by Steve Beaton. And look who he's got again. Steve Beaton, same round, this time round. Fantastic looking draw. Something to savour. This evening's entertainment should be super special. Chris Mason, rather enjoyed this afternoon, but how much are we looking forward to that little lot?
Yeah, I wasn't particularly popular with the players backstage, that's for sure, but yeah, I mean, it's a great lineup, and that's the beauty of this tournament. These things can happen. It's great for the fans to get to see this so early in the tournament, and of course it opens the draw up for everybody else later, because they all go back into the hat, and someone could get in a run here and just, you know, come in through the back door. It's going to be a fascinating few days. Exactly.
I mean, you look at that Nathan Aspinall against MVG match. I mean, it's great for us complete neutrals. We can just sit and enjoy. You think for those two, probably don't want to draw each other. But as Nathan pointed out earlier, he said, well, probably going to have to play him at some stage. It may as well be now. It's a very positive outlook.
Yeah, absolutely. We know this is quite taxing on the players. We've seen it last year, the semi-final and the finals. You know, it was all about who had the most stamina. And I think sometimes if you get one of these big games out of the way, you're then fresher, because it's highly unlikely, well, he hopes whoever comes through that one, they're not going to get another one of the big guns. But yeah, at the moment, I just fancy Aspinall against MVG right now. He's the form player. They're head-to-head, there's nothing in it. 3 apiece. They played 6 times. It's their 7th meeting. And the last 2 times they played, I think World Championships, it was MVG winning 6-3, and then Premier League a week or so ago, Nathan Aspinall beat him there. So fascinating matchup. Really looking forward to it.
I think that draw is probably our fault, because we did mention earlier he had a decent-ish route to at least the semi-finals, and then a couple of very difficult matches before he went on to win it. But yeah, big old game first of all.
Yeah, defending champion as well. So
yeah, what about Gary Anderson playing Steve Beaton, one of the 2 ever presents left with James Wade?
Yeah, I'm not sure Gary's quite, well, he's nowhere near his best. We know that. And you never know what you're going to get with Steve Beaton. You're going to see that lovely fluid throw, the same action we've seen for the last, well, near on 30 years. And he's tough to beat. You very rarely will see him get, you know, an absolute pounding up there, because he's just always there or thereabouts. And if you make a few mistakes, he's one of the best on making you pay. He's going to tough match that for Gary, as we've seen 12 months ago.
Okay, well, let's have a look at board 2 and what's coming on later this evening, because there's some brilliant matches on there as well. We have got Riley's qualifier Reese Hayden, He's already played 3 matches today, facing Dimitri Vandenberg. Then Dave Chisnell takes on Willie O'Connor. Dutchman Vincent van der Voort against Stephen Bunting. And the last match between the Polish Eagle Krzysztof Ratajski and Hollywood Chris Dobie. But on Rhys Hayden there, 25-year-old from Braintree. He's already beaten James Richardson, Tony Alcinas today. How dangerous could he be?
Well, again, he's, I think in the interview he did with Dan this afternoon, he's almost like he doesn't care. Qualifying for it was the big thing. Then to go into the main draw tonight, yeah, he's buzzing. He's free rolling, got nothing to lose, and he can literally just go and play with such freedom. There's no expectation, and he's given himself a chance to get a feeling for it. And each match he's got a little bit better. He could do anything here. There's a few. There's Lee Williams, the young Welsh lad.
Lewis Williams, yeah.
Lewis Williams. I mean, he really has the potential to go deep. He's a practice partner of Nathan Aspinall, and I was talking to Nathan. He said, "Listen, this kid's going to be special. Might just be now is his breakthrough."
Yeah, just 18 years of age, born in Swansea, but studying in Liverpool. Very exciting times. And one of the things we love so much about this tournament, not just the Riley's qualifiers, and not just the fact we've got this great arena here and board 2, but we also have the multi-board room, of course, a third arena which houses boards 3 to 8. And at the moment, it is housing Dan Dawson and Mark Webster. Good evening, fellas.
Good evening, guys. Yeah, we're already underway over here in the outer boards. We've got Bam Bam Bradley Brooks, who always seems to bring quite a vocal support with him to Minehead. He's taken on Carl McKinstry. We saw beat Fallon Sherrick. All these boards, we're going to see 4 games on most of them, 3 on another. Now, with the big guns entering the fray, are they at a disadvantage from some of the guys who've been in here all day or been around Minehead all the day? They've got 3 games under their belt and they're already warmed up for this, Webby.
No, not really. I think that they've had that rest. They know what time their game's coming. If anything, a bit of an advantage for the seeded players because they've been able to just chill all day while these lads have been battling out. And yeah, it's a different environment. The top players used to playing on the big stage, but these are similar to what they play on the Pro Tour week in, week out. So there's going to be no real change for them. And I think it's going to be tough for the lads who played all day because they've got to regroup and go again. But they've got into the prize money now, so there's a little bit of pressure off, so to speak.
Yeah, we've got heavy metal Ryan Searle just behind us against Kim Hybrex. Big H Harry Ward, one of the young guns, who's not been on the tour that long. He only got his tour card at the start of last year, taking on Ian White. He's one of those players who is a real threat, isn't he? Even though having never won a major title, Webby.
Yeah, of course he is. Ian White's a solid player, and he got to the semi-final the back end of last year, so that sort of got rid of that quarter-final thing. But he needs to make the next step now, and he wants to be in the Premier League, he wants to be in the World Series, and he's only going to get in those events when he produces on the big stage. But he's got good chances, Tom. I think it suits Ian in a way, because he can sort of come under the radar, play on the outside boards, and on the final day hit that big stage in the best form. So, yeah, he's got a real good chance, Ian.
Where are you looking for a potential shock tonight, or a game you're particularly looking forward to? I mean, we've got a guy who's won in this venue, Darryl Gurney, over on the far board there against Keegan Brown. Yeah, that's a massive game here tonight. Obviously, Darryl Gurney previously won in this arena, but I really like the Dirk van Dovenbode Jermaine Wattimena match. I think it's a battle of a Dutchman who's been proving it for a few years in Jermaine, and Dirk who's just having the best spell of his career, and it'll just have that little in-house rivalry on it with both Dutchmen, both quick, easy on the eye, and that'll be over in no time. Absolutely. Well, look, we'll keep updated all night. We've got some big names in action already and plenty more to come, including the likes of Rob Cross and Michael Smith here. Fantastic stuff. Thank you, fellas. Yes, we will keep you posted throughout the evening in commentary as well. But those are the latest odds from the tournament sponsors. Chris Mason, what stands out for you there?
Well, unfortunately, because you've got Durrant against Peter Wright, I mean, that price of 25 to 1, if he beats Peter Wright, that ain't going to be 25 to 1 for very long. He'll probably go into something like 8s or 9s. Michael Smith at 14s, we keep saying it's not if, but when. Aspinall at 16 seems extraordinary value. Wouldn't go anywhere near Michael van Gerwen at the moment, although that's as big as price as I've seen him for overall sort of outright odds for a long time. So he usually hovers anything from sort of evens or odds on. So the Michael van Gerwen backers might fancy a bit of that. These tournaments, you can't really look ahead. You've got to look at the next round. If he plays him, then he'll play him probably. We can't do that. You can't plot a path because we have no idea, because it is an open draw at the end of each round. We have that to look forward to, and that is why we love it. So another great evening to look forward to. Some really top quality action on the main stage, including the world #1 and the reigning world champion. They are still to come. But first up, it is the double Grand Slam winner, Gerwyn Price, against Danny Noppert. John McDonald will bring out the players.
Ladies and gentlemen, You've joined us live on ITV Sport from Butlins, Minehead, the Ladbrokes UK Open. Well, it's brought to you by the Professional Darts Corporation. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the players. A winner of a PDC ranking event, Noppert, Danny Noppert! Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the 11 PDC ranking events, a two-time back-to-back Grand Slam champion, that is the Iceman, Gerwyn
customary pantomime boos for Gerwyn Price. He's got used to that, but he tends to win them over eventually with his very high quality of play. Let's see how he gets on against Danny Noppert. It's a much longer format for these matches now. Best of 19 legs, so first to 10. And to guide us through a first match on the main stage tonight, Alan Warren a little, and good evening, John Rawling.
Good evening to you, Jackie, and good evening, everybody. Yeah, looking forward to this one. And Gerwyn Price, of course, is a hot favourite, but coming into it on the back of that substantial Premier League defeat yesterday at the hands of Glen Durrant.
Yeah, certainly won't do him any good coming straight from Exeter. And that defeat you mentioned against one of the up-and-coming bright stars of our sport, Danny Noppert, made his breakthrough by winning a Players' Championship event. But apart from that loss you mentioned, John, playing some of the darts of his life at the moment, Gerwyn Price.
Yeah, very, very good form. 2 ranking title victories already this year, including the Belgian Championship last week when he beat Michael Smith 8-3 in the final.
First leg is
Danny
going
Noppert being quoted at around about 5-2 against for this, and our sponsors making Gerwyn Price the 3-10 on favourite. Twice, of course, winning the Grand Slam, including last November when he beat Peter Wright in the final, 16-6. The Iceman, the latest Iceman, the original slimline Iceman by my side.
I'm glad you said slimline. Yes, no doubt he's the favourite in this match.
140.
It's certainly helpful for both these players at his longer distance. A lot of the players in the first 3 rounds playing that shorter distance, best of 11.
Makes them vulnerable, doesn't it?
Well, that's the beauty of the event, isn't it? It's potential banana skin for most of the players. It's easy for the top 32 because they don't come into the 4th round.
Breakthrough performances can be registered clearly here and have been. First major televised title for Peter Wright, who's now gone on to be the world champion, and a first victory last year for Nathan Aspinall, and what a match that is in prospect later on against Michael van Gerwen.
Yeah, so some cracking draws pulled out of the hat. That's what the crowd want to see. It was great when the draw was being done, John. Well, the crowd stayed behind and cheered when the two big names came out, the two big draws you've just mentioned.
We're going 128 for this opening leg. On throw, looking favourite at this point. Well, he's not happy with that, and understandably, but he's got time on his hands, on his side rather, because Noppert not on a finish.
No, we can certainly put a big hole in it with this one, because okay, Price is on the finish, but they only get one dart at the double depending on which route he follows. It will be two.
And one needed. That's a sort of finishing to settle you down, and the Welsh contingent maybe down from the valleys, maybe down from Price territory. They're happy because he's ahead.
97.
Yeah, it's not the highest scoring first leg, but important to get that first one on the board. Get your teeth well and truly into the match.
83.
Danny Noppert got through to the final of the World Series of Darts last autumn. First time he'd been in a major televised final, and faced up to one Mr. Van Gerwen and lost 11-2.
Yes, it was great to be back in Amsterdam, having two Dutch players in the final. The crowd certainly responded, they loved it.
Good darts.
177.
Good as a maximum. Early example of the sort of brilliance that Price can bring to a match. Hoists his average close to a ton.
96.
Yes, he's challenging the throw here. They go for ball.
104.
Well, I'm unsure whether that's a good option, because it still leaves 136, which is two trebles or two doubles.
Well, let's see what he makes of it. Noppert on 173 here. 19s maybe. Yeah, good dart.
Yeah, he needed that one, didn't he? Another one. No, not this time. So
96.
Noppert through first in this leg, being challenged by Price, but has an opportunity. 116.
See if he can put it away, looking at treble 20 as first port of call, and finds it. 16 to leave tops, so tops it is for a 116 for a hold of throw.
96.
Now the chance of a break.
40.
Yes, he's earned the right by the scoring, the 177 in particular.
Going to throw first. Game on.
Takes a 2-0 lead.
Nice little 13 darter, and Price's average is into three figures, over 102 now.
125.
Yeah, it's amazing how quickly you can settle when you get those early legs on the board, John.
Two doubles out of two.
100.
That's one of the primary areas through which jitters and uncertainty arrives, and he's finishing so far in good order.
Yes, and he hasn't quite got to his power scoring, so if Danny Noppert doesn't start getting a move on, he could be facing a real uphill battle.
First 10, let me remind you, at this stage. Longer format which in theory you would expect to favour the class player.
100.
Just hasn't got that
96.
two treble visit on a regular basis yet, which is what you need at this level.
134.
Like that. Right on cue. Noppert just looking as though he's straining for it, just that little bit.
78.
So 64 for 3-0.
I believe his favourite.
Yes, on the
Well done, three doubles out of three. Serving him well and taking an early grip on this match.
Yes, looks in complete control. First leg, as I said earlier, wasn't the best scoring from either player.
100.
Price took that one, and since then he's really taken the match by the scruff of the neck.
140.
And every visit seems very difficult for Danny Noppert at this moment in time. Yes, it's a race to 10, so you have a bit more time. He's throwing first in this leg and already under pressure.
60.
Yep, no trouble coming up dry that time. And so it's advantage Price looking to kick on in front. He could do with the treble as well. Not finding one, not able to quite capitalise on that occasion.
Yeah, Noppert's got to be looking at 3 visits to win this leg if he possibly can. He's just not got his scoring going yet, is it? 4 ton plus is in. Oh, we're into the 4th leg now, no 140s or higher.
98.
Noppert's average 83, and in bold, stark terms, that just isn't good enough to give Gerwyn Price any sort of problem. That's in a difference in scoring.
59.
Huge.
Well, it's massive, but the second leg was the only opportunity he had. He bombed out at the double. It didn't go in. Could have been 2-1. It's 3-0.
45.
And the struggle continues.
Well, there's a little bit of a lack of concentration, maybe shake of the head as he leaves himself on a bogey number.
Could do with filling this in. Well, again, he's going to have to move.
Oh,
Great last one, though.
Chance to break his duck, maybe. Price, that's the wrong side of the wire. It's in treble 7. That's the other side.
110.
So, this one got to go, Alan?
Absolutely. Can't afford to give Gerwyn Price another shot to go 4-0 ahead.
Tops.
90.
Well, it's the second out at tops, and both have been underneath.
19 would leave tops. He was going for 25 with that first start for double 18. This one then. Oh, he's missed one.
Down you require 20.
Has to get this now. Concentration and focus. He's there.
Yeah.
Well done.
Danny Noppert.
Gets himself on the board.
Break at the end of this leg.
45.
In this longer format. Noppert would love to be able to break the Price throw. Make the early damage of that very indifferent start just to memory, and Price has just gone off the boil in the last couple of legs.
Well, he's got to jump over it though, hasn't he? Now, he could have been 4-0 down. He's got to look at this leg here. Going at the break 3-2, he'll be absolutely over the moon. He really will be.
Ranked number 3 in the world nowadays, Gerwyn Price, behind the world champion Peter Wright and the current world number 1 Michael van Gerwen, who interestingly is looking for his first tournament success, first tournament title since back in November.
100.
First one.
Yes, and it gives him a great opportunity to go in at the break 4-1. Noppert just isn't power scoring for me.
No. Hanging on in there, but not doing enough.
Yeah, no. Okay, tons are great, but no ton 40s or higher.
Perfect.
36.
And we're in the 5th leg.
Price will come back with tops for 4-1 at the interval. Noppert, well, he's got to get a ton. Is that in the treble?
6.
It's not.
Oh dear. 40.
Tops then for 4-1. There it is. 4 doubles out of 5 is pretty ruthless stuff from Gerwyn Price, who goes to the first interval 4-1. Welcome back to Minehead, where Jelle Klassen has gone through in the 4th round of the UK Open, beating William Borland. Convincing win. And moving through into the 5th round. Meanwhile, here on the main stage, in front of a very, very healthy crowd indeed, Gerwyn Price well in control against Danny Noppert, and the Welshman leading 4-1, Alan.
Yes, and it's been really since that first leg when both players couldn't quite get the scoring which you quite often get in the first leg of these kind of matches. But Gerwyn Price has moved on, he's up his scoring, 3 ton 40 plus is a maximum, and Danny Noppert just can't get 2 in the treble. He needs to start moving. 4-1 down's a big deficit.
And only averaging 84, Noppert, against 97 for Gerwyn Price.
60.
Just narrowing the gap slightly, but not significantly.
I suppose if he tries to look at it positively, he's only 1 breakdown.
Here's some of the other scores. Ian White ahead. Ronnie Huybrechts, close one against Ryan Searle, 7-6 up. It's a race to 10, remember, and Kyle McKinstry finding it's a rather tougher task than earlier on, trailing Brooks by 7-3 at this stage. Kyle McKinstry, who accounted for Fallon Sherrock earlier on.
Yeah, he's played pretty well today.
Finishing's been terrific, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's certainly been a big feature of his 3 matches. His 4th one now.
$77.
Apologies for the slight error in the graphic which came across. Kim Huybrechts, I'm told it was, not Ronnie Huybrechts. It came up as R. Huybrechts.
Who's that?
It could be Ronnie Huybrechts.
$57. And you require 170.
170. Only one way.
Another one of those would be pretty handy. There we go.
134.
Oh, it's more like it.
167.
Needs to do it more often.
Now then. Oh, he needed the treble 19 for a bullseye, so sets it up perfectly. But here goes Noppert for his
36.
A much needed leg.
Yes, and can't afford a miss. Well, you can see the relief there when he hit the double, because he's under the cosh here. But that's certainly getting him moving. And as I said earlier, it is only 1 break. He's got to be looking at the 12 dart or something similar against the throw to try and really get himself back into this match.
Not been signs of it coming as yet.
57.
Well, there's an opportunity here. Thomas hasn't scored as he had been doing in the first 4 legs. Well, he's going to have to move now. Surely he can't stay there. Apart from the fact the second one fell out, it loosened the first one as well.
Yeah, it was rather hanging a touch precariously there.
Well, he hasn't made any headway.
96.
Nose ahead still for Gerwyn Price. Watching on tonight in the VIP area, Gerwyn's wife Bethan.
He's going to have to move there.
97.
See that second dart just sneak under the first one, but just dipped a little bit and blocked the bed. Just can't get his first dart, Danny, can he? That's been the problem, because he's having to switch on a regular basis.
96.
And he's not on a finish.
55.
No.
We'll see what Gerwyn can make of this. It's a long way, long way clear.
Treble 18's a shot to leave double 12.
81.
Happy with that.
Nearly going to be a test for the lip readers there, but thought better of it.
He's managed to get one above, and that just shows you that And he can work his way down.
140.
When it's going below, you're having to switch
74.
because of the angle his darts go in the board.
16 would leave tops. This for 5-2. Nicely done. Doubling's really good. There is Bethan watching on. Going 5-2 up. 5 doubles out of 6.
Yeah, fantastic. That's going to win you lots of matches, it really is. Well, we've had Ryan Searle just miss a 9 darts. We had Steve Brown early on in the day on the multi-boards. If we'll get one on the big stage.
And Danny's throw is unpleasantly under pressure once more. Unpleasantly if you're a Danny Noppert supporter, not though. With a stagey smile from Mrs. Price, not if you're a Welsh supporter.
Yes, Danny Noppert just hasn't put any pressure whatsoever on Price at all. It's easy street really at this moment in time.
95.
Even when he has moments of lacklustre throwing, he's not being put under pressure.
He's absolutely in the comfort zone, isn't he? And look at this. This is going to be another break, surely, as the way things are going. Missed that by the better part of an inch, the treble 20. Good adjustment downstairs, though. It's more like it.
He still leaves 150, which is a very difficult one.
Oh, double 6 for 126. How about that? And Price shows exactly what he thinks of it. It's 6-2. Go on, he bellows.
Yeah, motoring towards that finishing line now. Another break. Noppert just doesn't seem to be in the match. His confidence is gone.
He's just getting steamrolled, isn't he? It's not... well, I guess you can never say anything's a foregone conclusion now, but the body language isn't good.
Yeah, there's no continuation of flow in his throw. That first dart, as you saw, his head dropped. He couldn't believe the angle it was at. He's just not in a good place at the moment in time in terms of this match.
Crowd getting more animated about 1 or 2 giant beach balls being banged around the auditorium.
Well, they certainly come down to enjoy themselves here in Minehead. Most of them have been travelling all day, haven't they? A lot of people turning up here on Friday for the whole weekend.
Oh, good darts again. Certainly wouldn't want to be throwing those things around on the beach today. Might have wound up in Cornwall in double quick time.
Yes, it was rather windy. See Danny again drifts into the 5 and stands. Can't believe he's actually thrown that one. Well, a better return with the second and third, but just not in a good place. His game's not there, is it?
Tops now. No, sorry, Alan. Tops untaken. 7 doubles out of 8. He's in touching distance now. Break at the end of this leg, but he's looking for all the world as though he could well go into it. 8-2 up, having been 4-1 at the first interval.
134.
Yeah, it's going to have to be a monumental change if anything's going to happen in this match. Okay, he's throwing first here. If he can just dig deep and take this leg, going at the break, and then just give it everything when he comes out for the third session.
Has he still got the belief, the concentration and the focus? Well, that's pretty good. 2 good visits.
Maybe in his mind he's thinking, well, I've lost the game almost, and just got to that point where he's relaxed instead of putting himself under too much pressure.
Playing a bit for pride.
Well, first time he's had 2 good visits back to back.
Yes, indeed. See if he can make it 3 from 227. Looks as though it's on the cards. Well, tons not too bad.
127 when you're throwing first after 9 should win you a very high percentage of the legs.
84.
Decent last dart, but he's not on a finish price, so 6 darts from here for 127.
I think if he is a treble, well, I was just going to say, if he hits a treble 19, for me, he has to go for the ball
87.
to just get some momentum going for the rest of the match.
Left it on tops. Price might get very close and does. They're both on tops, but Noppert first.
Yeah, has to get this. Long way off with the first.
And socket in the second, as Danny Noppert pulls back a much needed leg, but Gerwyn Price in pretty strong command, and he leads 7-3, 3 more needed. Here at the UK Open, we've had some great moments from Gerwyn Price, such as this 1:26 checkout, 2 trebles, in goes the double 12, and it's a husband and wife celebration. Ian White has just won his match against Harry Ward. Bring you the score of that one when we have it. .10-6 was the score in Ian White's favour. Supporters from this part of the world want to know that Ryan Searle came desperately close to a 9-darter against Kim Huybrechts. Missed the double 12, which would have been a 9-darter.
Yes, with 2 attempts. Carl McKinstry continues to mortar through the rounds. He's won again against Bradley Brooks.
He was behind as well, he was 7-3 down, wasn't he? What was the final score there?
10-8.
Goodness me, that's a turnaround. Just goes to show, you never know. I'm probably as guilty as anybody here for hanging a potential victory here around the neck of Gerwyn Price, but you never know. There's another Iceman there.
Well, once you get that little bit of momentum, it's amazing how many. You know, you can have that little purple patch, 2 or 3 legs. 58. All of a sudden, it turns the game around. It really does. Puts your opponent on the back foot as well.
Averages almost, 13 clear. 14 nearly. That's a big difference. It kind of equates to what you were saying, a guy who's throwing 2 trebles a visit against one who's getting 1. Brilliant. Needs more.
Well, it hasn't left a finish, but it's irrelevant because he couldn't anyway. But it's important for him to start getting these big scores on a regular basis. Put himself into legs, give himself a chance.
Great setup there, meanwhile, from Gerwyn Price. Left himself on his favoured double top as Danny Noppert gets the old cogs turning, thinking where does he want to leave it, and the reality is I think that it's going to be 8-3 and is. Those doubles today are as good as anything you'll see from Price. 8 out of 9, astonishing.
Yes, strangely enough, the only one he missed was in leg 4, and that was the first leg for Danny Noppert to get himself back in the match, but it's not turned out like that further on. He's just been relentless on the doubles.
140.
.40 each. Price following Noppert's lead.
91.
Plenty of room there.
140.
Power scoring. Noppert just can't live with him at the moment.
Averaging nearly 104 now, Gerwyn.
Well, if you look at Noppert, first session 83, second session 89, it's now just over 90.
60.
So he has improved, but not enough to get himself back in the match, not enough to give himself more chances at the double to win legs.
140.
3 .40s back to back, leaving Price on 81 after 9 darts. Noppert will just have to hope that he makes a mess of that 81.
Looks like he's staying there.
100.
Thought it would have been a better option to move.
to move with one leg of victory here. He's looking for 25 and it's just the wrong side of the wire. Treble 18. He's got it for double 10. This would be a great checkout, getting himself out of a bit of a pickle there. And that is just wonderful finishing again. Very, very difficult, albeit well nigh impossible to beat a man who's finishing like this.
Well, somebody averaging 104 and hitting doubles 9 out of 10. You're going to have to really play at your top level and not miss anything. Danny Noppert just hasn't been anywhere near that level.
No, this has been, in all honesty, a fairly one-sided match. And Gerwyn Price just needing the one more leg now to close it out. Noppert getting a ton 40 to open the same as Gerwyn Price in what could turn out to be the final leg here. And look at that statistic there. Keegan Brown beating Daryl Gurney 9-7 at this stage.
Yeah, one more leg for him.
97. $135.
Quality again, down to 92 after 9 darts this time. Last time it was 81, and Price managed to finish in a 12 darter. Is he going to do likewise here to clinch the match?
94.
Well, if he doesn't take out the 92, not back on 170, but
I think he's got to.
Well, you wouldn't bet against it, would you?
One remaining. Oh, he's missed one. He's missed one. You can hardly believe it. He can hardly believe it.
170.
Well, that's probably his worst dart at a double in the whole of this match. But this is a tall order. This is a very tall order, John. Ooh, fancied that second one.
Yeah, I was about to reach for the earmuffs as you bellowed bull, but it wasn't to be. So double 16, double 8, another big miss. And right in where he wants it. And he finishes it off, and a very, very one-sided match indeed. Gerwyn Price taking it 10-3, and his doubles were just way better than those of Danny Noppert, who on this occasion couldn't live with the Welshman, who goes through in fine style. A well mighty smile.